Yeah. So my client was basically asking me, and for anyone listening, I mean, this is something that we won't do. They were asking me basically if I could give them the green light to go in with no conditions. And at the end of the day, ultimately, that's, I know Dave has the same conversations with clients all the time. It's not our position to tell a client, you're good to go, don't put any conditions. That's a decision a client, a buyer has to make on their own. Is this a risk that we want to take to put in an offer with no conditions? We'll typically...
You're listening to the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast with your hosts, Paul Stevenson, David Warren, and Greg Campbell. Let's see what's going on in the world of real estate today.
We are back in the building. So excited for the show today. Welcome, everyone. My name is Paul Stevenson. I'm here with Greg Campbell and David Warren. This is the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast. Gentlemen, how's everyone doing? How are we doing? How's the week? How's the morning?
Great. I like the new groove. We got a new groove.
I know.
That's amazing.
I was just saying, as soon as I hear that beat, I just can't help but move my head. It's
I know.
Infectious.
I know.
It's infectious. We're going to infect our listeners with that beautiful music, beautiful sound.
We switched it up.
It's the one infection you want to get, the toe rep theme song.
The infection injection.
Yeah.
Toe rep.
Yeah. So I didn't say it, but I am one of the owners at Referral Mortgages in Ottawa. I'm also a mortgage agent, and my business partner David is here with me. David Warren, he's a owner and mortgage agent as well at Referral Mortgages. And Greg Campbell, we have a big announcement today. Why don't you make it, Greg? I won't even tell people who you are. You tell them.
So I'm Greg Campbell, and I am now a realtor, still a realtor, and the managing director at the agency Ottawa. We made a big change last week. We've been working on it for months, and Blue Panda Realty has been dissolved, or should I say, has been transformed into the agency Ottawa. Mm-hmm. So for those that don't know, and I'm sure that there's a lot that don't know, the agency was a boutique brokerage that got started out of Los Angeles by Mauricio Umansky about 11, 12 years ago. And you may have seen him and his wife. They're on the Real Housewives of Los Angeles, and they've been on multiple series. So you may know him from that. It's that agency. Yes, it's the same thing. We brought the franchise to Ottawa. Big shout out to Max Damour and Irina Popova. Max kind of spearheaded this whole thing. It's been on his mind for a while, and we got on board and we did it. We made it happen. So last week was we had some of their trainers in from California and Virginia in office, working with the agents, getting ready for the launch. And then we did the big launch on Thursday. Went crazy over social media. We had a big press release in Inman News. For anyone that's into real estate, if you don't know Inman News, you need to know it, because you should know it. That's where you get majority of the information that's going on, nationally, in North America and internationally in terms of real estate and what's the latest trends. So we're really happy for the change. We needed a change. We weren't sure what we wanted to do with Blue Panda, and it just made sense to partner up with a growing brand that has tons of infrastructure, great infrastructure, and is huge value adds as realtors to our clients. I've never seen anything like it. So I'm super excited to start using these tools actively. This will be our first week kind of really getting to use these tools and go through the process. We got our new signs. I got a couple coming out in the next few weeks. I'm pumped. And I don't know. So you can follow us at the agency Ottawa. And we're there. Here to help. I'm the same guy, just got a new look.
I will say my Lauren was very excited when I told her that it was the agency. She's like, from the Real Housewives?
Yeah. I know. And that's the reaction, right? You get, like, some people have no idea, but the ones that know freak. They're just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. You brought this to Ottawa. This is crazy, which is great. I think a lot of people are going to be, I think it was good for the city to bring something that's internationally recognized and growing, and an option for, for clients and realtors who just want a little bit of a different experience. I mean, it's still real estate, but there's little things that come with it that I think people will be pleasantly surprised with if they work with us.
So is there other agency groups in Canada already? Like, this is the first in Ottawa, but
I think we're We are now the 7th in Ontario.
Okay.
So there's I'm going to screw this up, but there's Toronto, Kitchener, Waterloo. Muskokas are just opening. There's another one in Toronto, or I think there's 2. I think there's 3 in the Toronto, in the GTA area, actually. Yeah, that would make sense. Muskokas. Oh no, there's one in Brampton, Kitchener, Waterloo, and then us. So we have our 2 locations. We were the biggest conversion they've done to date. So usually when people come on and do the franchise, it's a small team, or it might even be a single agent that just wants to start building it. And from what I understand, every time they do it in each city, agents come on board pretty quickly. So we were the biggest conversion they've done, where we had an established brokerage with agents, and we did it. And so it was a pretty cool experience. But yes, back to Canada. So also in Calgary, Vancouver, Victoria, and just opened Montreal. And I think that is it for now. But I mean, they're opening, like it's going to get busy. We're the 30th franchise office. They have offices in Mexico, all over the States, and they've got one in Amsterdam now, and they're going to be expanding into Europe.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So we need a Real Housewives of Ottawa. We need to get Irina. We need to get Anna. Hey, we get them. Get the cameras. If hilarious. Anyone needs a reality show, it's Greg Campbell. So we got to.
Well, the cool thing is that on my real estate reality YouTube channel that I kind of just stopped doing stuff for the last couple of months, building up towards this. So now I've got more video coming out, and I've got the new podcast starting where I'm actually going to be interviewing agents in different markets and talking about that. So that should be pretty cool. I'm just looking to bring some more awareness to the brand and to our city, especially internationally, through that. I feel like I'm being interviewed. For on
you are
podcast, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're grilling you.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. I mean, that's great. And Blue Panda, I mean, even when Blue Panda opened, which was when, 2018, 17?
It started 2016. I came on with 2017.
Yeah, like that boutique style was really the first of its kind here in the city as well. So, it's great to see Irina and Max and yourself kind of, leading the pack as far as, new brands, new styles, new way of doing things. And I mean, we know that you're obviously always on top of the newest tech. And I mean, we're the same way, but I think with the way the industry is going, you really have to be able to pivot, and change is really important, right? I mean, life has changed, but you got to keep moving and keep getting better and keep improving. And if there's something that makes your business at 10% better, then you got to kind of hop on it and roll with the punches.
And these guys are definitely way ahead of the game when it comes to that. So that was something that made sense for us too. And they started out as a luxury boutique brokerage, but they had, bigger ambitions, and they wanted to really take that model just so that everybody could, be a part of it and offer that level of service.
It's awesome. Yeah. Good job. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Greg.
I'm fired up. Like, I feel the last 6 months since we started kind of working on it, it was like, okay, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And I mean, I slowed down on my social media stuff, and I was just telling people like to listen. I'm like, just, I was happy that they actually wanted to wait a bit, because I'm like, I want to do everything as the agency. So now I feel like a big weight off my shoulders, just getting it done. And especially for Max, I know it was driving him nuts. He just wanted to get it out there, but it was well done, well executed, I think. And it's going to be great this year and moving forward. Hopefully we'll meet some people that we might not have met otherwise, and we'll bring on some new agents in the city that didn't have the same option as they may have been looking for.
Mm-hmm. So Ottawa, what's going on in the city here? I have an interesting story that I was kind of briefly telling you guys about before we came on the air, but where's everything sitting, Greg, as far as you have any kind of numbers, or at least if you don't, what kind of are you seeing as far as, listings and days on market, that sort of thing?
I have, I mean, basically it's the same. It's still aggressive. I'm just going to read you the stats from the board this month. So members of the real estate board. So there was 1,421 residential properties in February sold, and compared with 1,385 in February 2021. So it's almost the same. We're actually up a bit compared to last February. But the numbers, so we're up 15% from 2021 in terms of price
15.
Already. Wow. So up 15%. And and that's in condominiums, 17% in residential. Average sale price for a residential class property was $837,000
in February.
in February.
Wow.
Condos was 467. Yeah, man. So clearly crazy still. I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm still seeing the same stuff. It's challenging. I have a great story though. If I could go into a quick story here,
please.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I feel like the show is I have an amazing story actually.
You got the mic, Greg. Go for it.
Check this out. My clients submit on a property, high end, $1 million. We're ready to submit.
So average price in Ottawa.
Pre-offer day, a big single in Orleans. Pre-offer day, we're like, we'll submit a preemptive offer. It was listed at, I think, $975. I'm okay. And then the agent, the owner's like, yeah, no, $1 million. We're going to wait. We're going to wait to offer day. No problem. Offer day comes around, 8 a.m., $1 million. Okay. Great offer. My clients are amazing. And it's a big house. They're bringing families together. So offers at 6, 5:45. Another offer comes in. Do you want to revise? Nope. $1 million. Okay. We lose for $1,050,000.
Mm.
And then I get a call from the agent the next morning. Listen, buyers woke up, don't want the house. Would your buyers like to have the offer assigned to you at $1,050,000? Talk about it. And I'm like, well, no, our offer was $1 million. You chose the one that was $1,050,000, and now they're going back on it. So ours is still $1 million with your closing date.
Still the best offer. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Negotiations back and forth. I'm talking with the agent. He's like, can they do $1,020,000 or whatever? And I'm like, no, it's $1 million. That's the offer. That was the offer. It's the offer. It was hilarious. And so this goes on.
Just nudging. Yeah.
And then finally he's like, I think my guys may go for it. And we're just dying. Going, really, this is crazy. They're just going to lose. They initially said that they would close. But then they realized that, if they close, time versus money and selling again, fees, whatnot, that they thought it would be better just to, pay the money. So now the lawyers have spoken and everything. And anyways, today should be the day, but it looks like we're going to get it at $1 million, and that other buyer is going to be out of pocket.
Wow. They're going to eat that 50.
Yep. Eat.
Wow.
Guy.
I mean,
right?
I guess the alternative is they don't close and they get sued, and they, it's a long process, a lot more cost than that $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's wild though. That's
or they close and resell. Either way, there's no way to avoid spending that money if they actually do not want the home, and they don't.
Now, in that case, Greg, did the seller still get the deposit of that original offer?
They have the deposit. That deposit will go towards paying the $50,000.
Right.
It'll be kept in the trust account until everything's resolved and whatever it takes to equal the final amount that the buyer will be paying. But so my guys, I mean, it's in, my offer is in. I'm supposed to know today if it happened. I'm pretty excited about the whole thing, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great story though. Cause I mean, talk about it. We were there. We were the offer. We were the good offer.
Now the question is, did your buyers start getting second guessing whether they wanted the home after somebody who didn't want it that badly that they're willing to pay the $50,000? Did your buyers start getting buyer's remorse without even having
I think they had a moment just because of the situation, but it's two families merging, and the buyer who I know, she's a past client. So, I mean, we worked together long enough to know how each other operates, and I know her personality and everything. And she just said, when it happened, she was like, you know what? She's like, just give me a minute. Let me talk to my partner about it. And anyway, so they talked about it, and they wanted the house. And we just had the conversation. You know what? I go, maybe this just means that this house is the one that you're supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do? You could sit there and be like, oh no, I don't want it for this. They were like, we'll take it at $1 million. So
that's awesome. I'm happy for your clients. So you're going to find out today then?
I'm going to find out today. Yeah.
Okay.
So next week we'll pop the champagne on air.
Champagne, yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And even and the agents also said that they'd be happy to come on the show and talk about this too. because they thought it was pretty wild.
We could have a little pop-in, window.
Both sides of the story, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I have another story about actually a multiple offer situation in Orleans. And had a client, one of my clients who I've worked with multiple times, investor, great guy, emailed me saying, we're considering this duplex in Orleans. And he says that, there was multiple offers. Ours was the highest offer, but the seller basically came back saying that they would not accept any offer that had conditions. So they basically said, like, every offer that went in had conditions. There's some issues with the property. It's a duplex, and there's some issues with one of the tenants in the property. So obviously, if I was a buyer, I would 100% have a condition in there. But the sellers have basically said we're not selling it unless there's no conditions. So I found I'd never heard of that. I mean, I wouldn't say it's audacious, but it's certainly, it's unheard of. I had never heard of that. Have you seen that, Greg, previously? Is that something that's common?
There's the way that I see this could have been handled a lot better. First of all, there was no pre-inspection in the property, and it was all renovated. I think there should have. I mean, again, we're still seeing all these listings come out, sell for no conditions with no pre-inspection. I can't believe that the agents aren't spending the money to get a pre-inspection done, or the seller's doing it. It just blows my mind. And so there was no pre-inspection, and there was also, with the situation due to the tenant, that should have been clear. It should have been written out as a condition. Tenant has been uncooperative. Buyer agrees to assume any responsibility relating to the tenant prior to closing or after closing. Because if that was in there, then it would have eliminated offers, and they may have got someone who came in with a strong offer willing to take that on. But there was no disclosure. In the back end of our system, we can see there's realtor remarks. So in realtor remarks, that's where you put stuff like that so that the agents can be better informed and talk to their clients about it. There was nothing there. So I think what they did is smart by taking it off the market. But I mean, trying to flex like we want an unconditional offer, it's like, what, come on. Everybody should have known. It should have been public. It should have been public before anyone even came to see the property. Because if I had known that, I would have called and said, well, there's no way. Like, we're not even going to come and see it.
It's crazy though that they, like, I think you're absolutely right, Paul. It is audacious. Like, it's very bold of them to come back after multiple offers, not just two offers, more than that, of saying, like, no, we're not going to take any. We want unconditional. And to your point, Greg, of not having that information upfront disclosed before any of this is pretty wild. And I'd say, like, a bad job on the listing.
Hey man, it happens a lot. It's too bad. You won't see that happening on my listings. Agency Ottawa.
Yeah. Yeah. So my client was basically asking me, and for anyone listening, I mean, this is something that we won't do. They were asking me basically if I could give them the green light to go in with no conditions. And at the end of the day, ultimately, that's, I know Dave has the same conversations with clients all the time. It's not our position to tell a client, you're good to go, don't put any conditions. That's a decision a client, a buyer has to make on their own. Is this a risk that we want to take to put in an offer with no conditions? We will tell people what their maximum buying power is. If we say, you can buy up to 800,000 based on the numbers we've run. And this is why we look at all their credit, we look at their income, we look at everything up front, so that's at least a much more reliable number. But anything can happen, right? I mean, something as simple as the lender may not like that property specifically, or may not like the listing of the property. I mean, there's so many things that could go wrong that even if you think it's ironclad, like, going in with no conditions is always going to be a risk. Even if it's a nominal risk, it's still a risk. And for us to advise you to go in with no conditions is like, I'm never going to do that. So I mean, I haven't gotten back to my client yet. I will before this airs. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, here's your maximum buying power. You have to kind of make that decision with your real estate agent or with your wife or whoever, and just know it's a risk, but it happens all the time. People ask us all the time, like, in this market, we have to go in with no conditions. It's like, I completely understand the market. I understand it's super competitive, but that's not something I can advise you to do. It's not my place to do that.
They have
it also puts a lot of onus on us from liability.
They have to make their own decisions based on, like, something like what they're pre-approved for and what they're offering at, I think, too, right? If they're pre-approved to like 800 and they're offering 600 on a property that's 5, I mean, that's a different, I mean, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah. If you have no debts and you're, two salaried
800, then offering 800 and you're approved for 800, like, gets a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Well, and beyond that, if they have the minimum down, like, if they don't have a huge down payment, if somebody's putting in an offer at 800, They have 400,000 down payment. Yeah, then there's, you've removed a lot of the risk. But if somebody qualifies and the bank likes that property, that's fine. They'll still issue an approval. But if it doesn't appraise, that's another aspect as well, is that if it doesn't appraise of what's being offered on it, and the person doesn't have the means to cover that difference, if they offer 800, it's only worth 700, and they don't have the means to come up with that extra 100, they're screwed as well. And so, like, again, like us, we can advise that, yes, your numbers look good. That's great. The bank could like that property and issue an approval even. That doesn't mean that it also values at that. So if they look for an appraisal, that's another aspect. So, if somebody's going in with a huge down payment, then that covers, any of that risk there as well. If they, if they qualify and it doesn't appraise or appraises light, about that, the capital to kind of bridge that gap. But, being tight with like minimum down payment, I just said qualifying at 800, offering 800, like, no, we're not, I'll never, if they're getting any advice to waive conditions on that, it's ridiculous. Whoever they're working with shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. Slippery slope.
Yeah.
Is Paul frozen? Oh no, he's
I'm here.
Intense.
I'm just intense,
that
just
was
listening.
Great. I was like
listening.
Wow.
I just have my ear to the pavement here. Speaking of slippery slope, I think I told you guys this, but I was back on my roof over the weekend, chipping away the ice. Another slippery slope on my roof. Almost bailed a few times. The good thing is that the roof that is actually having the issues with the leaking. Any roofing companies that are listening, please send me a DM. I need a quote. If anyone knows any good roofing companies, send me a DM. I need a quote. But yeah, it's only about a 4-foot drop. So, I mean, even if I were to bail, it's not the end of the world. It could be a fun fall, little trust fall,
fun fall into
a little trust fall into my yard.
Well, I don't know. What else is new? David, you're in Florida. Are you coming back soon?
Yeah, this Saturday. I'm actually going to come back to real life. The weather's getting warmer in Ottawa, so I figure it's okay to come back now.
Yeah, it's feeling a little bit better here. Not gonna lie.
Optimism. There's some optimism in the air. Smell it.
Yeah.
Should we roll into the mood boost, gentlemen?
Yeah, before you do, get on that, because I did realize last week, it happened after we aired, but the Bank of Canada did increase the overnight lending rate by a 1/4 point.
Great topic.
It's been a week, kind of forgot about it on this show until just now. But for those of you listening, this only affects variable rates. This doesn't impact your fixed rates. So it affects your variable rate mortgages, your lines of credit, student loans. So be aware of that. And as you're going forward, kind of running your analysis. But I was getting a lot of questions of people that were reaching out to me that have fixed rates, wondering how that impacts theirs. And that's not the case. So just to be cognizant of that. And there's obviously talk of them continuing to increase going forward, but reach out to Paul or I. We have tools to run analysis, even expecting or running an assumption of multiple increases and how that compares to a fixed rate option as well, and whether variable still makes sense. And in most cases, or in really all cases right now, it still does. But yeah, certainly reach out if you have questions on that. But did I just touch on that before we slide into the mood boost?
Yeah.
I have a rather large announcement as well, David, now that it's public knowledge. Greg, I don't know if you even know this, but Mortgage Professionals Canada, which is kind of the governing body for not a governing body, but it's a large association, the largest in Canada as far as mortgage professionals. Every year they have the Canadian Mortgage Awards, and Referral Mortgages has been nominated for New Brokerage of the Year. We're a finalist.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's only 6 brokerages across Canada that are nominated. And we are one of them. So very exciting, very proud of that. Very grateful for that opportunity. And there's a big gala in Toronto at the end of April. So, Dave, myself, and our business partner, Rick, will get our tuxes out, and, we'll get down to the gala, and I'm really excited. I mean, it's just being nominated is quite an honor. And I think, what we've built and what we've created as far as a model is very unique to the industry. And, we had a very successful first year, and this year is off to a great start. So really proud of all of our agents. Thank you to all of our agents. If you're listening, you guys are all awesome. Our operations team, amazing. I mean, it's certainly not Dave, myself, and Rick that have done this. It's everyone. And, I just want to say thank you. Take the time now to say thank you and that we're very appreciative of everyone, all the amazing people on our team. We're very, very fortunate and very lucky.
I completely agree. We wouldn't be able to have the growth rate we did last year. I think we were over 600% growth rate last year in the first year of launching. That we wouldn't be able to do that without the back end support and our team members and agents that joined and kind of seeing that huge growth. And for those of you that aren't following Referral, certainly follow us on all social means, and you can kind of watch that growth as well. It's been a fun ride, and we're definitely continuing to hopefully take home this great award. We're really honored to have been nominated, and it wasn't a self-nomination either. It wasn't a Faces award or anything like that. It was others in the industry that have recognized that we're, you know, the great things that we're doing at Referral and kind of watching our growth. So we really appreciate everyone that's been supporting us. Those of you listening as well that have reached out to Paul or I, or anyone on our team as well for guidance in their mortgage path, you know, whether it be as an agent or as a client. We really do appreciate it.
I love watching the agents too. Like, we have a lot of younger agents now, and I mean, it makes me feel a bit like a dinosaur, but they have like really funny and like insightful like TikTok videos and stuff, and completely like, I mean, I have a TikTok account, certainly haven't posted on there, but seeing some of the creative things they're doing to get leads is really awesome to see. It's like it feels like the whole business has kind of been revitalized, and we're seeing that next wave of like kind of that next generation in the industry. It's really, really fun to be a part of.
Yeah, you certainly definitely feel like a dinosaur. I know exactly who you're talking about, Paul, and then the social media and the ways. I mean, I think we're gonna I think we might hit 50 agents with Referral this week, and kind of seeing everyone's differing marketing ways that they promote themselves or grow their own business and empower them is fantastic to see.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, I got some great mood boosts today. I got 4.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Number 1, I became hooked on auctions after only going once, going twice. That's it. That's the whole joke. Number two, I hate how funerals are always at 9 a.m. I'm not really a morning person. Nothing. Okay. Maybe I thought they were better. Number 3, how was Rome split in 2? With a pair of Caesars.
Nice. Interesting.
And last but not least, number 4, I broke up with my console. Now it's my Xbox. It wasn't anything personal. I just felt like it was time for a Switch.
Oh.
Yeah. That's good.
Wow.
There you go. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for our listeners, for our sponsors, and thank you guys for showing up. And thank you, Stephen Hopkins, for being an amazing producer. And we will be back next week. As always, the show will air tomorrow, well, Tuesdays, 10 a.m. And we record live Mondays. Shows are released Tuesdays, 10 o'clock on YouTube and all of our podcast platforms. So any closing remarks, gentlemen?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Just be amazing. The agency. Check us out online. Our site is at the Agency Ottawa. We have a new Instagram page and a new Facebook page, and the agency. Just look them up online. You can check out the depth of what the agency is. And if you want to know more about it, give me a call.
Going deep. All right. Well, have a great week, guys. Have a great week to all of our listeners, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Take
care. Deuces.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Did you enjoy today's episode? Because we sure did. If you're still listening, that means you must really like us. Well, guess what? We like you too. Guitar.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we'd really like that.